Welcome back. Today we're diving into something massive, maybe the single biggest shift in human history, the Neolithic Revolution. We're focusing on the big two, wheat and rice. We want to look at, the technical evolution, what problems they actually solved, and the huge impact they had.
Right, that's the plan. And it really shaped the world. You've got wheat in the West, the whole bread civilization from the Fertile Crescent, and then rice over in the East, the foundation for rice civilization, starting in the Yangtze River Basin.
It's wild how much we're still finding out. Like that recent work from China suggesting rice evolution goes back, maybe 100,000 years? Way before we think of farming.
Exactly. It shows how slow this technical development could be. Let's take wheat, starting around 10,500 BCE in the Fertile Crescent. Wild wheat. Well, it was a nightmare for farmers. The grains just fell off the stalk before you could gather them properly. Shattering, they call it.
Okay, so harvesting was the core problem. How did they solve that?
It came down to selection. Humans noticed some plants held onto their seeds better. They picked those. They specifically selected for this trait. The non-brittle rachis, the stem part. Choosing plants whose stems didn't shatter.
A technical tweak, basically.
A simple but revolutionary technical tweak. We know from early samples it boosted yields by about 35%. That's huge for survival.
Wow, yeah. One genetic change paving the way for Western farming. So, meanwhile, what about rice in the East? You mentioned the Shangshan culture.
Right. Evidence there points to cultivated rice about 11,000 years ago. For rice, the problem wasn't just yield maximization initially. It was more fundamental, securing a stable food source. That shift from just gathering to actively cultivating, maybe starting 13,000 years ago, that was the real breakthrough.
Got it. So stability first, and that stability lets people settle down, which means you need better tools, more permanent stuff than just stone flakes, right? You need infrastructure.
Absolutely. We see the jump from simple stone sickles to bronze tools, but the sources really highlight iron as the game changer.
Iron. Why iron specifically?
Especially in the Qin and Han dynasties in China. Iron was cheaper, tougher, easier to mass produce than bronze. It allowed for deep plowing, really turning over the soil in a way bronze just couldn't manage. That massively increased productivity.
Makes sense. But farming isn't just tools, it's water. That's another huge technical hurdle.
A massive one. You see these incredible irrigation canals in Mesopotamia way back, 6,000 BCE. And in China, the Dujiangyan system from 256 BCE is just genius. No dams, just clever structures like the fish mouth, weird to divide and control the river flow perfectly.
Okay, so stable food, better tools like iron plows, sophisticated irrigation, it all leads to surplus food.
Exactly. And that surplus had this staggering social impact. It kicked off the first major population boom, the Neolithic demographic transition.
The numbers are just mind-blowing. You said, global population grew like 150 times? From a few million to maybe 150 million by 1000 BCE?
It's almost hard to comprehend, isn't it? A total transformation. And that surplus didn't just mean more people. It directly led to social layers, stratification. Hunter-gatherers were relatively equal, but now you get landowners, tenants, laborers, hierarchy.
And it changed work itself, right? Including roles for men and women.
Definitely. Plow agriculture, that really intensive field labor, often became associated more with men. Women's roles increasingly shifted towards managing the household, food processing, and, reproduction. It fundamentally reshaped social structures.
This need to manage everything, the surplus, the people, the land, it drove something else too, didn't it?
Our intellectual world. Think about writing. The sources are clear. The earliest cuneiform tablets in Mesopotamia, something like 90% of them are economic records.
Just accounting, basically. Tracking crops, inventory, trade.
Pretty much. Managing the agricultural system required record keeping, and that need for organization helped drive the rise of cities, centralized governments, bureaucracy.
True science too.
Yeah, you needed to know when to plant, when to harvest. That pushed astronomy, developing calendars like China's Taichu calendar. Even early math, like the Sumerians using a base 60 system, was tied into managing agricultural output and land.
So, looking back, the Neolithic Revolution wasn't just about farming. It was technical, social, intellectual. It changed everything.
It completely reshaped humanity, from small bands to complex civilization.
Absolutely. But it all started with those plants, wheat and rice, and the incredible genetic diversity found in the wild versions. Which brings us to a final thought for you, our listener. Knowing that our entire civilization is built on this foundation of genetic diversity, how critical is it really to protect the biodiversity of the crops we rely on today for our future food security?